there is also Sekai Birhanu, obviously Wolayita Kenema and Idris Said in the middle. Remember the groups of brothers? Now one of them will be playing today, that's Chernet. Is the on the side and who has remained in the office in all this time. We'll hold 1 minute silence in honor of those who were massacred in the Marchers' Day commemoration. So Bahirdar in the 5th position, behind St. George, Hadi Hussaina, Ethiopia Buna, and Fasil Kenema. Wolayita side are behind Sidama, Awasa, Walkite. They are just above Sabeta, Diredawa, Adama, and Jima Abajifar. Now the question is, who will take the 3?
Costed them a very precious moment for Wolayita Dicha.
No doubt about it, no doubt about it. Here is Wolayita, not sitting back, looking for a through ball onto the right side. The goalkeeper is forced to come off his line. And just that Binyam Fikra wasn't quick enough. Or let's put it the other way around. Harrison Hesu was quicker than Binyam Fikra to get onto that one. We've got a player injured on the other side. But the initial attempt here not giving us what the Wolayita Dicha side would have wanted. And something happened here that the referee has been forced to go and address very quickly. Harrison Hesu is just giving instructions. So it's a throw-in that has been given, I think, out of an interception that came out on the other side. So another throw-in. Well, it looked like there was a little bit of a tackle on him that sent him off the field of play. And that is what caused the throw-in. As Bahirdar again will pick up the loose ball and try to go through. Too much of a push there. You're not going to get anything out of that. Almost looked a little bit desperate as Wolayita try to mount a comeback. And they are steadily making headway into the Bahirdar half, Gilbert. They seem to be working their way slowly. They've already known how they're going to pick up the balls from the strikers and from the midfield of Bahirdar. And now they're also knowing where they want to approach their game from.
Yeah, you're very right, Bernard. I think their defensive organization is absolutely fantastic. They know when to pack their defense and also the routes in which they're supposed to get out of as soon as they win possession of the ball.
Back into the midfield. And looking for a chance to go for a shot. They find it. It's been intercepted. Just a quick reflex action from Messiah Genyehu. And then the Binyam Fikra was trying to get onto it as well. The Bahirdar defense had better watch out.
Yeah.
They've been caught napping so many times, and Menaf is spending too much time complaining other than just defending. He could have been the guilty man in this one.
It's a foul.
Yeah,
it's
because he's the one who's charging,
yes.
and he could have been the guilty one. So he should watch out. You know, you get worried when a player suddenly starts playing to the gallery, you know, wanting other people to notice things, because that's a sure sign that he's being overwhelmed.
Yeah, and actually he's not quick off the blocks. Anytime that he's in possession of the ball, he's very, very slow in the build-up.
Yeah, he's still complaining even now. As Bahirdar now starts it back into the midfield. I'm still waiting to see Minyidu Ondimo as well, and his contribution to the front line of the Bahirdar side. We know that Binyam Fikra is already giving his all in the Wolayita Dicha side. Back onto the right side. I think the ball had already rolled off the field of play. It's slackening a bit, but steadily being looking like it's getting very organized. Oh, that's where the noise is coming from as well. And you know those colors, Gilbert, those are Wolayita Dicha colors.
Yeah, those are Wolayita Dicha colors. Very, very colorful.
What do you think they're saying?
Luminous green?
Yeah, luminous green. What do you think they're saying? I hear your America's really improved. Do you understand what they're saying?
Well, they're just trying to urge their teams forward.
All songs are meant to urge the team forward. But what are they saying in the songs, Gilbert?
They're definitely not war songs.
No, Gilbert, tell me what they are, not what they are not. But thank you very much. We know that they are urging the teams forward.
Yeah.
The dialect could be a Wolayita dialect, because there are as many dialects as there are tribes in Ethiopia as well. And we do know that different parts speak different languages, and then they all speak Amharic as well. As they come back into the midfield, then it will be Mikias Girma trying to get in there for a shot. It's the first one that's on target, but you see again the grass slowing down the shot. After Rock doesn't give it the hard shot that can lift it slightly higher than the grass. So as it's touching on the grass, it slows down. Doesn't give it any trouble at all to make Big Degefu.
Yeah, and you can realize that Wolayita Dicha is not Bahirdar time to get into their box. So Bahirdar have resorted to try and take the shots from a distance.
Is that a good decision?
Well, I mean, those are the variations that we
under
get.
circumstances,
Yes,
if you're not being allowed in, you might as well shoot from outside. Here is Wolayita. Maybe they can also exercise the option. They do, yes, but on a very long ball. Doesn't quite help them forward. Very quickly take it as well. I think more of a reflex. Binyam Fikre brings it just onto his left foot. Yeah, he touched it with the right and then with the left. Now that means that he deflected his own shot. Couldn't get it on target. This was Senuali. He's played it back into the midfield to Mikias Girma and then out on the left side. Good little footwork to Alemu, who brings it onto the right side. That's a better way to take it, but not. The bicycle kick was not going to help out. Benyilo Adibo puts himself in a situation to try and make capital out of all what they've done there. He's got a man on the left side of the attack. If only he could have seen him earlier and just deflected the ball to that side, maybe they'd have had a better result.
They would have had a better result. Only that Wolayita Dicha are very, very compact. And if you look at the spaces in between the central defenders and the fullbacks, it's very, very minimized. And they have very little space for any shot to come through the middle.
No wonder we have only 8 shots and only 1 has been on target so far. Hoping that there will be more coming as well. This is being played by the captain, Degu Debebe. You see a lot of blue shirts coming to challenge for the 50-50 balls. They're working harder and faster as well. Getting back to the defense now. And Degefu, the goalkeeper, has become part of it. Solomon Wodesa, and brings it to his teammates, to Mikias Girma specifically, as they pick it up again. In the midfield, a foul will be given here, having been committed by Degu Debebe himself. Gets a yellow card for that tackle, which the referee deems to have been a foul tackle. Degu Debebe is the captain, so he has 2 yellow cards so far, and this is the 3rd one he's picking up for that tackle. He's gone for the foot. He didn't go for the ball at all. His left boot goes there. I wonder what he's complaining about.
Yeah, that's
you
an
can
open
see
foot.
It very clearly.
It's open foot.
So why do you think he's complaining?
It's a tradition.
What do you mean a tradition?
I mean, we've seen so many players, and when they're being cautioned, they are always on the referee. That's why.
It's an act then, it's not a tradition. Well, it's an act, and players are very good actors as well. We've seen that a lot, you know. They commit fouls and complain, and sometimes very angry to very, very large explosions for no reason at all. Good ball down into the midfield. A clash that is won by Anagalba. Here is a shot by Wasedu Ali. He's working hard, Gilbert, isn't he?
He really is really working hard, and as a forward,
He's even apologizing for having gone for that shot.
yes, he's dropping back into the midfield. Yeah, he's really changed. Even his demeanor has changed. I think he's playing at home, and he realizes
he
a lot
picked
of
it up very nicely, and there goes the shot. It just wasn't well angled, but he knows he could have done better. His body was very well angled for the shot as well. He just didn't drop it on time, you know, trying to take it with the top of his boot. Well, Wolayita trying to come out with Binyam Fikre trying to hustle for a loose ball and ultimately not finding it. It's Bahirdar who are coming out to go into the attack. Oh, quick reaction to try and get it out of the box. Nikias Girma again. Odessa being part of it as well. They have possession, they know what to do, but then it's just the accuracy of it. That was not a bad idea, Gilbert.
Not a bad idea. The passing lanes have been restricted, especially in the final third, because of the defensive organization by Wolayita Dicha. And Bernard, since the coach came into play, having beaten Ethiopia Buna 2-1 and then beaten Jima 3-1, there's a lot of light that is being seen on the Wolayita Dicha side.
Right, there's also a lot of light on this other side going for a shot here. In fact, here it's a question of lightning then, because that's a lightning first shot that has come from Minyilu Wandimu. So quick, it was quite unexpected. I think Minyilu Wandimu is turning into the striker that he's expected to be, maybe because he's playing at home. He's got 4 goals to his credit, almost made the 5th one here. Together with Wasedu Ali, they're the influential players up at the front for the Bahirdar side. It's going to be a free kick for that. Would like to see where the light is leading the Wolayita Dicha side to. You know the saying that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Well, a friend of mine told me, Gilbert, they demolished the tunnel. So the light is no longer at the end. You only need to see the light. You need not go into any tunnel at all. An interception that gives it back to the Wolayita Dicha side. And Agarbadeg has it. Yeah, it was going to be a foul. Idris Said has been sandwiched in there, and 2 men wrestling him down. You know, the wrestling was much more on the hands than on the feet. You can see it. Absolutely. Couldn't stay on the ball there. Well, the sounds coming from the fans are obviously directed at Wolayita Dicha. You can hear them saying, "Oh, Dicha," and I presume they're telling them, "Can you go and get us a goal?" The header is the one that cuts out that intention from the chance as well. It's going to be a foul committed by Beriket Walde in the midfield. Oh, and Alemu, who's not accepting the sportsmanship gesture, you know, he's going to have to accept it. He's going to have to accept it.
I spoke about this youngster.
But you see, many other people are complaining who are not even involved in there. And that's what we are saying. The captain of the side, he should not get in there. He's not supposed to be in there. I mean, let the foul be addressed. And Beriket Walde was the guilty man there. Here is Alemu again. But he should have accepted the sportsmanship gesture.
He should have accepted.
That's a mark of good discipline. This is Fikre. It's still in play here. Or is it? It's not. It's out of the field. It's going to be a throw-in. It's going to be for Bahirdar. Nikias Girma takes it all the way back to Odessa. We're playing in defense with Menafa Wall and Ahmed Rashid. And Solomon Odessa cuts a very remarkably solid figure in that defense. He has not missed any of the games that Bahirdar were playing. I think Zelalem Shifera must be thinking about how he can be able to beat that defense, isn't he?
Yeah, but so far he's actually done so well, and they've started making inroads into that Bahirdar outfit.
Yeah, with 32 minutes played, they have gotten at least a couple of shots going. Irma plays it onto the right side to Osenu. Brings in a cross, but it's angling towards the goalkeeper. And Big Degefu says, thank you very much. Picks it up, starts it for Wolayita Dicha. They just are not stringing the fast passes. And they might have been told to slow down the Bahirdar side, but it doesn't mean you slow down the passes. The passes must get to the intended person as fast as possible. Kenema again. Trying every which way to go through the midfield. Alemu. Oh, this is going to go out. I was saying we should have just played the ball. It was going to go to him anyway, or it was going to go out of the field of play. But I've still gotten the throw-in, but he signals to international referee, let me negotiate that that should be a free kick. And strangely, it's going to be a free kick. Maybe not strangely, but obligingly. Again, obligingly doesn't sound so good as well. Let's just say yes, it has been given out for what he expected. It's going to be a free kick for the Bahirdar side. Sometimes Bahirdar is called the city of palms because the palms that have been planted around the city, you know, make it a coastal side. Although it's more of a lake. It is a lake. Lake Tana, source of the Blue Nile. That's where the city is based. It's going to be a free kick. And Aferwa Kailu has offered to take it, to carve it. It's a very low one, very easily headed out. Oh, well, chance to go for a shot is lost. As Irhan, who was trying to make a run for it with Binam Fikre. The pass again doesn't get there. It's not completed. Good ball down on the left to Minilu Ndimu. Looking for support. He will find it from behind. Everybody's being urged out of that defense area. You can hear the water very clearly. Good run now by Wolayita. This is Binyam Fikre looking for support as well. It's going to be fouled. It's going to be a free kick for Wolayita Dicha. Now the counter-attack, Gilbert, must be well executed for that sit-back to work. If you sit back into your defense and you hope that you're going to go out on a fast break, then the counter has got to be exactly what it's called, a fast break.
Yes, I'm not sure why Binam Fikre decided to play negative, because he was already moving towards the Bahirdar side, and he decided to cut back, and that's where he got in the foul.
Oh, they took a very quick free kick then, and Bahirdar has already possessed it again. Oh, the touch is going to give it away for a corner. Well, sometimes things just don't work the way you want, and the defense very comfortable with the ball, and then deciding to wait for a crucial touch to give it as a goal kick. Ultimately, Antene Gugsa had a not so very good touch that sent the ball off the field of play. It's going to be a corner for Bahirdar. And they go for a very quick one. What's the story here then? And it already got off the field of play. What did they do with it, Gilbert? Did they touch it off the field of play?
I think he touched the ball twice. Ahmed must have touched the ball twice.
He touched the ball twice? Okay, yeah. That's very, very strange, Happened so quickly. We'll see. It was meant to be a corner. I think it's been given as a free kick to the Wolayita Dicha side. So if you touch the ball twice, what happens, Gilbert?
It's a foul.
I should touch it only once.
The next player, at least another player should be able to touch, yeah.
So the first touch is assumed that the ball is in play, and then the second touch, then he shouldn't have had it. Very good decision by international referee Lemi Neguse. It's going to be a free kick here. Bahirdar having it. Senu deciding to look for another option. Finds it in his own half. Alemu sends it on to the right side. So now they decide to toy around with the midfielders and the defense as well to try and get them out of their line, because, yes, the Wolayita Dicha side has fallen squarely into defense in their own half. And will not come out unless tantalized out. Going to be played back onto the right side by Bahirdar. We've played 37 minutes now, playing 38. The scoreline is still 0-0 in week 12 of the Ethiopian Premier League. This goes off. It's going to be a throw-in. Oh. Yeah, he shouldn't have touched the ball the second time. He should have left it there. He had already touched it the first time, very deliberately as well. You know, sometimes there are things that can get you carded for no reason, and that is also an offense, and you know you have committed an offense. But this one is a pretty obvious one, so a yellow card goes up here on Bereket Walde. If I had said that something was coming towards Bereket Walde, you know, you'd think that you were prophesying something. But he was already showing signs of getting a card early in the game.
You know, his role is evident, and I told you from the start it's going to be a big fight between Fitsuma Lemu and Bereket Walde. Walde has been charged with the honors of wiping in front of the back four, and therefore he'll definitely find himself in trouble most of the time.
Well, he's already gotten a yellow card. And it's the fourth one that he has recorded so far in the Ethiopian Premier League. Remember, 5 yellow cards will suspend you for a game. And most players would like to avoid it. But sometimes it's also inevitable. So it's going to be a free kick here. Going directly towards goal. Fitsuma Lemu made it look like he was going to carve it to everybody else who's in the line there. Then dummies it and decides to go directly, but doesn't get the right precision, Gilbert.
The application was not right. The application was not right. That ball was, he was leaning backwards when kicking that ball, and therefore the elevation.
What should he have done? Lean forward?
Forward.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Forward, the ball will always go in a downward trajectory.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Backward, it will always go in an upward trajectory.
Okay.
Yes.
I will accept that coming from you. I will not even challenge it. It's just that when you're in the field, they've done this over and over again. And that's why I'm asking why he did it the way he did. They always practice this in the training sessions, how to take the free kicks and everything else. Well, I dare say that the Bahirdar defense is leaving dangerously. And they have been really toying around with the ball. A couple of times they almost lost possession. It's been done very quickly by Chernet Guksa, who's giving it out to the right side. The goalkeeper has a touch on it. It's going to be a corner. While the captain was still arguing with the referee, the free kick has been taken. And that's why they should not take too much time talking to the referee. They're spending too much time talking to the referee. Birhanu should have chipped this over the goalkeeper, but he decides to let them bang into each other. Gets a corner in the process as well. Segai Birhanu is the man who has won that corner for the side. It's going to be Wolayita Dicha taking it. Well, that message is being passed on to Wolayita Dicha very clearly. It's a call for them to try and get a goal out of this situation. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 men in that box, all trying to angle down on this ball. There's always a lot of shoving and pushing here. And it's targeted at Antene Gugsa, it's targeted at Messiah Genyehu, it's targeted also at Degu Debebe. Here it curves, coming forward. It's still in play. There are a lot of feet trying to go for it. The referee spots an infringement in there. It gives out a free kick to the Bahirdar side. I don't know if it was Binyam Fikre or who it is, but it's just a lot of pushing and shoving. Fikre didn't get the shot clearly. I thought Birhanu was just trying to shoot the ball from there.
Yeah, the goalmouth melee, and I think something must have cropped up in the process. Maybe somebody touching or pulling another one down.
Osenu has sent it on to the left side. Again, the attempt on the left foot shot doesn't get the required results. It's Salemlak who tried to get it. It took the entire impact of that shot by Salemlak into the groin, and that is why Antene Gugsa is wincing in pain here. The entire shot went right into that place that hurts the most for a man. And the coach says they need the medics to come onto the field of play. There they are.
Well, Bernard, you're going to give it up for referee international, Lemi Nigusie, the center referee, he's really been on spot, on most of the calls that he has made.
Well, do you know that man? He's been present in most of the matches that the teams are playing. That's the coach, Siom Kebede, sitting on the bench there on the other side. And I don't know, Gilbert, you say he's your friend as well. They're saying you also had your signer's friend. You've got to make up your mind whose friend you are as well.
I'm friends to all the coaches in the Ethiopian Premier League.
Oh, okay. So then you don't have to make it clear that that's your friend, because your other friends will wonder if they're actually your friends as well. You didn't say he's one of your friends.
We're
you
in the
just
coaching
said that's your
industry.
friend. I know. We're in the commentary industry as well. They're not all my friends. But that's Gilbert, let's go on with this game. It's Bahirdar pick it up now. On the right side. This is Girma. Out on the right side. Brings in a cross. Oh, wow. Minyilo Ndimo doesn't get a good header onto that. What do you think is the problem with Minyilo? I mean, I'm not saying there's a problem with him as a player, but what in the game is not working for him today?
But I think he's been denied time and space to be able at least to execute what he wants. And he had two minds there. He wanted to kick the ball
and also go for the head.
Yeah.
So his body then turns in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
And ultimately, he had two thoughts there. So you know what happens in between, eh? If you want to speak English and Spanish, you might end up having Spanglish. So in footballing terms, that's what happened to him now.
Yeah.
He just didn't get what he wanted to do there. He had two minds there. He ended up having a little bit of a spaghetti moment there. It's going to be a free kick that has been given to Bahirdar, which they've quickly taken now. They're working with it. Again, was Sedu Ali. And is also being tightly marked here. He gets the benefit of a free kick, even as Idris Said was trying to run away with it. Oh, we've played 45 minutes, Gilbert. What do you make of the game so far?
Well, I think the game has been, both sides have exhibited some very highly tactical discipline on the field of play. Both defensively, offensively, they've not really made a mark. But I think
both sides haven't made the mark.
Yeah, they've really made a mark.
We got 2 minutes of added time, and we're already playing the first minute. Scoreline is still 0-0. It's the first game of the resumption again of the Ethiopian Premier League after a 10-day break. And a movement from Jima all the way to Bahirdar. On the first game pitching the home side, Bahirdar playing Wolayita Dicha. As you would have expected, the games were also being watched in the Mulwalems, the video halls around the area, and now also around the country as well. Because of the restriction of COVID, fans are not allowed into the stadium, just 12 of them, well, symbolically for the 12th man. And you've got to give your name as well. We've got to know who's coming to the stadium and who must also go through the COVID protocols. Here it comes onto the right side to Mikias Girma. Got in a little touch from Osenu Alu and a good ball down on the left side now. They can work it out from there. This is where you'd be looking for Minyilo Ndimo as well to put himself in a good position to get a pass, but you know, they've been dispossessed, Gilbert.
Very good defensive discipline. Very, very calm. And look at the execution, of course, the counter-attacks being deployed by Wolayita Dicha.
Well, they have possession. They haven't gone for the counter yet. And they're trying to weave it from their area. This comes onto the left side, where Anagao Badeg will play it back to his defenders. Degu Debebe. They've been looking at how to remove it from their area, together with Yared Dawit. They are the ones who are marshalling the defense for the Wolayita Dicha side. That's the whistle at half-time. At the time when the Wolayita Dicha side was trying to move forward with the ball. But the whistle goes. Yared Dawit has got to stop it at the moment. And they've got to refigure, re-strategize, and come back into the second half to try and get the points out of this one. First half, you could say 50-50 challenge by both sides. The Bahirdar side looked the stronger of the sides. But now the Wolayita Dicha side is coming into the game. So we'll see what happens in the second half. At the moment from the Bahirdar International Stadium, the yellow card, and should really be careful about any other tackles that he's going to make.
I think Anemo needs
It's going to be a free kick. It's going to be a free kick for the Bahirdar side. And I think somebody else is preparing to take it. Should be Ahmed Rashid on the left side. Might just carve it on his right foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 blue shots waiting for it. The defense is also organizing itself. It's obviously they will be running inside. Little touch that he has on it. The clearance is massively big on the other side. And then a big run by Binyam Fikre. He's got 2 defenders to get the better of. They instead get the better of him. That is the first time, Gilbert, that the counter-attack has worked well for Wolayita Dicha.
Yeah, it was well read. It was well read by the two central defenders.
Going to be a lot of scrappy football that we'll see. I mean, not scrappy football, but scrappy situations that we'll see in this game. Chenet Guksa fouled by Fitsumalemu, who's also getting very frustrated. Gilbert,
Yeah.
you want to say something about
Yeah,
it?
I just wanted to say that he should play with the Wolayita Dicha's minds.
Who?
Now that that is Fisuma Lemu. Now that they've realized that he can't go through the middle, he's also very fast, especially on the left-hand side of the attack or the right. He needs to move onto that side and see whether Bereket Walde will follow him there.
He's back into the midfield now. Goes off the field of play. It's going to be a throw-in. And it's going to be for Bahirdar. Back into the defense now for Bahirdar. And here he's getting a chance for a shot. He's back on the left side. A naturally left-footed player tries to cover it in for a 45. That's Saleamlak Tegen. But again, it's easily read. And that's been the case in a lot of the crosses that he was trying to bring in from the left side. They've mostly been read and mostly being cut off, as it's pretty obvious that now Bahirdar are exerting pressure. Alemu plays it out to the right side to Odessa. This is Wasenu Ali, who's come so deep. Another man who needs to really exert himself in the game now. Minyilu Ondim has come back into the midfield. Long ball onto the left side. Wasenu Ali has picked it up again. You're talking about playing with the minds of the defenders, Gilbert. Literally everybody at the moment has got to toy with it. This is going to be offside on Ahmed Rashid. And we're probably going to see the very first substitution in this game. It's coming from the Bahirdar side, from what I gather. And they could just be bringing in Gidma Disasa, a man who's already scored just 1 goal for the side, but who's so influentially now he plays up at the front, a naturally left-footed player. He's substituted Saleamlak Tegen. Gilbert, what do you make of the substitution?
Well, I think it's a good one. Salamne Tegen has not been able to impact, especially on the left-hand side of the attack, and they decide to bring in Girman Disasa, another offensive player, only that he has not been able to live up to his potential.
Yep. We'll see that whether he will be able to do that now that he's playing at home. He scored only once from a penalty situation for the Bahirdar side. He's getting back into the defense. Problem with the matches like this one is that you sometimes have to endure a very painful 1-0 loss, because it's just a question of an individual moment from any of the two sides that will probably get the goal. And again, it could just be a question of one opportunity that is gotten by either side that could change everything. The Bahirdar side now chasing, not wanting to stay back, they're chasing for the ball. Binyam Fikre will have it out on the left side. He'll look for support. Finds it on this side. There's Walde in the midfield, brings it up to the right. Yeah, there's all attempts to try and get the ball into that midfield and work with it from there. It's not worked for... well, they're still trying to work it out from that midfield. And how you string the passes from there as well will be very key. Out onto the left with the man who's got the freshest legs on the field at the moment. Girma Disasa cuts it back on the right foot. Oh, this should have been a chance to go for the ball other than just a chance to go down. And that is why the referee is not looking in that direction, Gilbert.
Yeah,
Fitsumalem was in a perfect position. Shoot for the ball.
They've not been able to dupe the referee. I think the referee has stood his ground and articulated himself very, very well on this field.
He should have gone for the ball.
Yeah.
He should have gone for that shot towards the goal. Here is again this is Fikre. Yeah. Here is a chance for a shot. No, just trying to place it there. Doesn't work out. Yeah. This is the cross that came in very nicely from the right foot. And going in there, absolutely nothing for a penalty. It's Walde who picks up the ball very nicely. Coming from behind there. Well, again, it could be debatable. It comes from behind him after having probably crossed his feet and crossed his rail line.
Well, Walde and Alemu have been tied to the umbilical cord. I mean, in this particular game, you'll find them wherever the ball is, you'll always find the two in a tussle.
Yeah, but was that a penalty or not?
I would think Walde was pulling. Was
that a penalty or not, Gilbert?
It's a penalty.
Okay, thank you very much. Here is a cross.
The game has moved on.
I know. Guksa sends the ball off the field of play. It's going to be a throw-in. It's one of those nice debates usually, whether it's a penalty or not. But he's still, protesting it. Couple of minutes after all that, it's going to be a free kick. It's going to be a throw-in for the Bahirdar side. We're waiting for it on the other side.
Well, there's
they play on the ground. Yep.
Yeah.
Some tired legs as well. So that pushing and tagging between Walde and Alemu, I think it's very clear that Walde was given the instructions to police Mac Fitsumalemu. And he's overdoing it.
I would love to see Walde playing as a left back or a right back.
Why?
Should Fitsu move to that direction?
Because why would you like to see that?
They are tied to the umbilical cord.
Okay, so
see,
why
that's exactly where he is.
Yeah, so why would you like to see it on the left side?
I've never seen him playing as a right back. Left back. So if Fitsu moves to the left, would he definitely go with him?
You'd like to see a situation where Walde has to go out of his position.
Yes,
okay,
position.
The Bahirdar fans are in position at the moment, loud and clear. They're just making sure that they're singing it out for their team and nothing else in this one. They're playing at home, the Bahirdar side. They need to make the home crowd happy. They're trying to get into the box. Now you see another situation where you're just waiting for a penalty. You're waiting to go down. And that is what has happened to Menyilu and Dimu. Here is Dicha. They can't get Binyam Fikre correctly in full flight to get him a through ball. And that's all he's lacking.
And especially number 4 there,
Binham
is not really giving his fellow compatriot at the top the kind of feed that is expected.
Yeah, that's a guy, Birhanu, like I told you earlier, I think has lost a little bit of confidence, in my opinion, from the earlier tackles. But then again, Menyilu and Dimu as well has not been on the ball that much. So the two men on either sides have a lot of impact in the game, which has not yet developed so far. It's going to be a goal kick. Mekbib Degefu will be the man to take it. 65th minute of the game. Well, Degefu suddenly looked like he wanted to get it onto the right side. He gets Birhanu. 80% pass completion of the Bahirdar side tells you they are more accurate than the Wolayita Dicha side in the minutes that have been played. Accuracy of the passes is of key importance here. Ariston Hesu plays it out to the right side. For the Bahirdar side, it's been the building from their own third into the midfield that is not very well defined, especially now that everybody was trying to avoid the midfield. But you can see the urgency in the game they're playing. But maybe in that urgency, they should also exercise caution, shouldn't they?
They should. They should exercise caution. I think both teams are just waiting for one mistake. It's one silly mistake from either side, and the game is buried.
Yep. It's one of the most difficult things to call for, a silly mistake. Yeah, this one that is going through slicing through the defense. And Mekbib has a little bit of a pain as Minyilu Wandimu, Wasenu Ali rather, was trying to get there. Could have had a touch on the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper will obviously get the privileges of being treated on the field of play because that's his right. But the attempt was to get the ball through. And Minyilu should have just stayed a little bit. Did he clip the goalkeeper? Yeah, he seemed to have done it on his left foot. He did clip him on the left boot. Yeah, that one. Why? He's not going to get onto that ball. Why does he still fly his boot there? He needs to have retracted it on time. You could actually, the goalkeeper lands awkwardly because of that.
But it's also a good tact to try to go over the center defenders.
But you injure the goalkeeper in the process.
Well, that was just one of the instances trying to go over the defenders.
Why can't he retract his foot after he has tried to go through, Gilbert? You're making too many excuses for him. He has already gone through the defenders, left a little bit too early, in my opinion. He's not going to reach that ball. Why clip the goalkeeper?
He went in late.
Yeah.
He went in late.
Lucky he doesn't get anything for it, but we must commend Wasenu Ali for the leadership role that he's taken in Bahirdar. He just needs to cut out on the little bit of the remaining bad habits, if you'd like to call it, and he probably will be a very refined utility player in the Bahirdar side. We've noticed that he can play in midfield. Now he's also playing, he's played up at the front as well. We've seen he's playing in defense as well. He's obviously a utility player. And Tekelin, the coach, loves his work rate. That's for sure. That's why he has played him in 8 matches, now the 9th in the Ethiopian Premier League. Solomon Wadesa is possessed by Birhanu, comes out into the middle to Cherinet Guksa. He's got space. He tries to bring it back onto the left side. Doesn't use the spaces that he had on the right side. This is Wasenu Ali. He's looked around. Too early to give that pass. He also had space. He could have moved in, Gilbert, didn't he?
Yeah, he had space, but he's still in possession of the ball.
Still in possession.
Yeah.
Girma Disasa is one who tries to bring it inside. Now, Messiah Genyehu simply wants to move the ball away from the area. The 3 in that midfield should be very easily defined in how they are playing. Senwali. And this will be picked up by the goalkeeper again. Headed out of the field of play for a throw-in. It's going to be for the Wolayita Dicha side. Wolayita's last win was over Jima when they played to a 3-1 win. But they had another win before that, having beaten Ethiopian Buna, and that gave them a very big boost because previously they had lost and drawn and lost. Remember, they lost to St. George by 1 goal, and then they drew 0-0 with Sabeta and lost 4-1 to Awasa. So with that behind them, then you think that the win over Jima should have, that was a win over the home team, should have pushed them forward to do something better in a game like this one. But they're playing Bahirdar, who are playing at home, who drew 2-2 with Jima, drew 2-2 with Ethiopia Buna, and drew 0-0 with St. George. So where the Wolayita Dicha side lost, they won. That was against St. George. They drew, rather. That was against St. George. And where the Wolayita Dicha side won against Ethiopia Buna, they drew the Bahirdar side. So they should have been on the ascendancy if you were to look at the last 3 matches. Iran trying to get onto this one. 2 defenders mixing themselves up. It's going to be a goal kick because the last touch was with Segai Birhanu. Operating on his own, Segai Birhanu is finding a lot of difficulties.
He's finding it. He's now on the left-hand side, and look at the way that is Fikri Michael and Menaf are putting a lot of pressure on him. And I would say maybe match fitness, because it's been quite a while before they came back.
They were training, Gilbert.
Training is different. The match day game and training is very, very different.
Okay, so you're saying they don't have match fitness?
Yes, especially
they have training fitness.
Finishing third.
So how do you get match fitness? By playing more matches?
Yes, by playing more matches.
And during training, you play training matches. And you play friendlies, Gilbert.
There's no pressure in training. There's always pressure in the game.
But you play friendly matches as well to gauge yourself as you come into the game. I think when it just doesn't work out, it just doesn't work out. Yes, there are 10 days break. The fans also did have a break, and it's working for them because they came in with fresh voices, fresh physicality as well. This is the Wolayita Dicha side, the Bahirdar branch of Wolayita Dicha fans, and a few of the traveling fans as well, the diehards who never miss. Back in the midfield, and attempted a big switch onto the left side, but leaves Fitsumalemu very, 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 very frustrated.
It's very evident that they're used to playing the balls too close to themselves, and any time that you change tact to play the long balls, they are not working out because that is not what they're used to training.
Yeah, it seems to actually confuse them, like, what? When did we change to this? Another substitution here. This time it's for Wolayita Dicha. And they have brought in... I think Yared Dawit has been substituted. He's in jersey 9. And then...
they must have brought in number 5. That is Ayub Bekete, because Yared Dawit is a defender.
We'll find out. We'll find out. So Yared Dawit is out of the field of play. So they brought in Bogale into the team now. Here comes the cross. This is the closest that Bahirdar has come to the goal area. Still again, Mekbib Degefu is very, very strong in there and doesn't have a problem with picking that up. It was a very, very hard cross, but doesn't trouble anyone at all here. It's very easily picked up by the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it's the first time that we've seen Mikhail's Girma moving into an advanced position to bring the cross. And that's why I was saying the wider areas are more easier for them to permeate than through the midfield.
Goalkeeper very solid in there for having picked that up, but the player on the ground in the box for the Wolayita Dicha side. It's not the goalkeeper, though. I think it's something that happened to him earlier on. Again, just to remind you, there's been a substitution. Yared Dawit, who's in defense for the Wolayita Dicha side, has given way to Bogale in that tip. And that should be a defender for a defender in the 72nd minute of the game. So they probably have noticed a little bit of a lapse in that defense and they want to quickly plug it before anything happens. Isasa has moved on to the right side, so a little bit of a technical change that they want to have there because it's a natural left-footed player. But he now will be bringing in swingers from the left foot because he's got to push it back a bit. Little touch that gets it to Osenuali. Taking a little bit of a time, and then Binyam Fikre has gotten onto it. There's no one in the white jerseys on the Bahirdar half. The Bahirdar side is pushing for a goal, Gilbert.
If they're pushing for a goal, they've pushed everyone right ahead of that middle area. And Wolayita Dicha just decided to sit back. And anytime they're in possession of the ball, they don't have...
Here's a good ball down on the right side now. Looking for a chance to bring it in for a 45. A little bit late and cut off very easily for a corner. It's going to be for the Bahirdar side. Walden making himself very useful in putting foot in there. I think the referee says that it's going to be redone because he's going to have a substitution for the Bahirdar side. They're going to bring in Baye for the Bahirdar side. And they've substituted Osenuali. That's the man they've sacrificed in this one to try and have a central striker for it. He's trying to weave the ball into the midfield, but a foul ensues here. It's going to be given to the Wolayita Dicha side. It's getting a little bit frantic, Gilbert, as Menafa Wall commits a foul on Binyam Fikre. They are currently now just trying to get each other out, you know.
Yeah, in fact,
is it a mark of desperation?
The strikers on both sides have really, really had a rough time in this particular game.
So what happens now to the special one? Zilalem Shiferau.
He has done well. He has really done well. I mean,
what do you mean doing well, Gilbert?
Yeah.
He hasn't gotten a goal out of this.
I'm saying he's really changed the way
the team is playing.
The way the team is
and
playing.
You're happy with that?
Yes, you can see it.
Okay.
I think he's making those baby steps that are very important.
Oh, they are. If only the league was also taking baby steps. He needs to get the points today. The baby must walk today. Not tomorrow. Solomon Wadesa cuts it out here. Yared Baya has come into the field of play. He's in jersey 9 for the Bahirdar side. That's him, and he's playing against his former side. Pushing the ball onto the right side, looking for a chance to bring it back. Girma Disasa is assisting in that build-up. Good ball down onto the left now. Rashid places it in the path of Fitsu Malemu, who's lifted it. They're looking for a chance to just pump it into the goal area. And something happens, I think, to the forwards. Fitsu Malemu tried very much to cut it back, and he did cut it back after it came from Ahmed Rashid. Here is Alemu. That's not a bad cutback, but that takeoff is what lets it down, Gilbert.
Yeah, the angle is very, very acute. The first touch let him down. The angle
this is okay, but
acute.
that takeoff is the one that should have been turning it into the goal area, and that didn't work out for the Bahirdar side. So an immediate impact by Yared Baya when he comes into the field.
Yeah, he's brought a new element, of course, with his speed.
Alemu,
and
I think, has
technical.
picked up something when he tried to bring in that curve. He's still out of the field of play. They're trying to get it onto the right side. Here is Wolayita Dicha. Can they take advantage of the one-man less on the Bahirdar side to try and go for goal here? It's 3 against 3, and Birhanu has got space. Oh, he's fluffed it. He's got Binyam Fikre on the right side. Just decides to be a little bit selfish this time round.
That was the best.
Because Binyam Fikri is opening out on the right side. He's actually onside. Even a through ball earlier on would have worked, but even here, just to give it to him, you can see Fikri is already just walking in that box. He already has given up on it.
Yeah, it's the first time. It's the first time that Wolayita Dicha have made that kind of an inroad. And that man on your screen, 4 goals to his credit. A lot expected from him.
They should have given that ball to Binyam Fikre. They should have, earlier on, if possible. It would have been a very good chance for him to put the ball in the net. But they decided to be a little bit selfish, and now they're going to have to wait for another chance altogether. It's going to come from the goalkeeper, Mekbib Degefu. I think the referee has signaled for something. He's going to talk to the technical officials here. It's not the coach, because the coach is in his box. There must be something that the assistants have said here. It's the referee who's getting some medical attention this time round. Well, do you think the referee can call for his own stretcher to carry him out of the field of play if anything happens to him?
Well, that's why there is an ambulance. But
no. Do you think he can call for his own stretcher?
Well, he needs to sit down on the field. He needs to sit down and.
He stopped play there. You know, every time the referee blows the whistle twice or 3 times, you know somebody's going to be in trouble. And then he signaled. Actually, he ordered the medics to come to him and showed them, he's got a problem with the foot there.
I almost thought that he was going to give the medic a yellow card.
I thought so too. I thought that they were going to be penalized for something. Well, it's all football at the end of the day. It's for the good of the game. And fair play applies whichever way. That's why players will share even the water when they can. This is Birhanu. Really has been on the ball for a lot of the moves that the Wolayita Dicha side are making, but the finishing is becoming a little bit difficult. There's been so much play in the midfield, 43% of it, and then onto the Bahirdar side, that just 26 and 31 on this side, Gilbert. How do you interpret that?
A lot of work that is being done in the midfield. I think it's because of the formations that were put out, a 4-4-2 diamond for Wolayita and a 4-3-3 by Bahirdar.
That's a foul by Girma, just cutting into the rails of Messiah Genyehu. Yeah, the players just never want to keep to their rails, keep to the distances of running parallel. They always try to cross each other. That's why we've had about 39 fouls in today's game. Still a low count, but the lower the count, the better for the game of football. Segai Birhan will go for it. Well, he tried to turn back here, but couldn't turn in time to pick up the ball. It's going to go out for a goal kick. And this is going to be for the Bahirdar side. 0-0 the scoreline. Does the game reflect the scoreline, Gilbert?
It does. It does. The game reflects the goal line because we've really not seen much going forward, especially on both sides in the final attack. So both strikers have really failed for the team this morning.
So let's say the defenders have really worked good for the teams. Is that the other side of the story?
That's the other side, the opposite side of the story.
Okay. So just about 7.5 minutes remaining in this game as Bahirdar try to get across from the right side of the attack. Doesn't work well. It's going to be a foul. Well, trying to actually get a volley in a place like that is dangerous and has to be penalized, and that's coming from Aferwo Kailu. It's very misadvised there, especially if there's somebody else who's coming in to try and clear, and I think Antene Gugsa was already getting there, or was it the captain himself? I think it was the captain himself, Degu Debebe. And that was given to Wolayita Dicha. The second substitution here. Aferwo Kailu goes out. And Henok Awoke comes into play. Gilbert, what do you make of that?
Well, fresh legs and just a new form of ideas to try and beef up that midfield. I think Henok Awoke is more of attack-minded than Aferwo Kailu. So they're going to have more players coming in as attacking midfielders.
It's still the same thing that they are pushing for a goal, the Bahirdar side. They don't want to go for a draw because that would be the fourth straight draw they would be having if it goes like that. So we'll wait to see whether that will have an immediate impact as well in the game, especially for Bahirdar, who still have it on the right side. And now they've forced the entire of the defense of the Wolayita Dicha side to come to the area, looking for that quick break. Birhanu again is the man who's charged with the responsibility, tries to put a ball right in front. Here again, there's Binyam Fikre who's opening up here. Harrison Esu has come into the salvage of the team here, puts his body in front of the ball and blocks whatever was coming from the left side that involved Birhanu as well. But again, they don't give it to Binyam Fikre, who was opened on the right side. And that might just be what is going to confound them to what they will get at the end of the game. Disasa, natural left-footed player, playing on the right side. And he was looking at crossing the ball in the still-up position. I think got a player down on the field. But on the other side, it's from the earlier move. And it's the same man we've been talking about. It's a guy, Birhanu. Could have gotten injured when Harrison Hesu put his body into the way here. So he had the ball here and a run and then an attempt to go in and to try and cut the ball out just didn't work out. So the second time that they were trying to shoot, Birhanu gets himself injured. And that ends it. But Harrison Esu, the Beninua goalkeeper, suddenly putting his body in line the first time to cut out whatever was going to him. And Birhanu getting injured in the second one.
Well, that is a tackle from the captain. Very good goalkeeping from the goalkeeper there, Harrison Esu. I think that man on your picture has really had a tough outing against the Bahirdar defenders.
Yared Baye in some discussion with Bereket Walde. Obviously, we do know that they know each other very well. Just what they're discussing is the big question. But what has happened is that Yared Baye is taking a little bit of the attention of Bereket Walde from Fitsu Malemu, because now Walde also has to worry about who is marking between the two. There's a long ball, and the flag is up for offside. Again, Yared Baye was signaling that he wants that ball to come to him. And looked like he took off just a little bit earlier. The second assistant referee, Zeri Hun Kidane, picks him out. Yeah, it's clearing his vision. Let's see it again then. Fitsubalemu is obviously outside there, you can see it. And even as Yared Baye is going for it, I think Zeri Hun Kidane doesn't need to actually clear his vision. He saw it very clearly, he did. That was offside. It's going to be picked up again by Bahirdar. Alemu. And very easily dispossessed here. Wolayita Dicha might just get a chance out on the right side. Now Binyam Fikre has the ball. They've been trying to get him onto the ball all the time. They've not been feeding him properly. Oh, he's rolled it off the field of play. Frustration again, Gilbert.
Yeah, there has to be some frustration, especially when you're denied time and space to be able at least to operate in. Definitely showing on Binyam Fikre's.
They're bringing in another substitution here. The Wolayita Dicha side are bringing Mesai Nicole. Is going to be taking the place of Segai Birhanu. Well, that was my worry, that he's a little bit frustrated. And he took a little bit of a knock from the captain of the Bahirdar side. That's the one that kept him down for a long time, and now they have no alternative but to get him off. This man has already scored 4 goals for the side, but I worry about players like this one, Gilbert. They work so hard up at the front. They run so hard up at the front. By the time it's time for them to shine, they're tired or they've been injured.
Yes, you're right, Bernard. And just because there's too much attention that has been given to him, especially from
but he should also be distributing the balls to whoever is in a better position, because he's also guilty of not feeding Binyam Fikre.
Yeah.
That's happened a little bit as well. So, a substitution. It is Wolayita Dicha. Binyam Fikre on his own looks very lethal and has decided to take matters in his own hands. You can understand, if you look at the mentality, what he's thinking about now. They have not fed me, and I've got the ball now. I better do what I can with it.
And he still has a lot of time. That I'm not sure whether it's the surface, but I think the technical application on both sides of the divide has really let them down, especially in the final third.
Just going to go back into the midfield here, with Bahirdar trying to push, and the defensive formation of Wolayita Dicha remaining solid. And again, it's going to be a battle in the midfield, although we're playing the last minute of regular time in this one. They have the most draws, these two sides, 4 in total in the Ethiopian Premier League. Hesu has probably made a mistake for the first time in today's game and gifted the ball back to the Wolayita Dicha side. They're not too far off from the goal area if they can weave it towards that direction. They also need to work with time. This is going to be taken by Girmadi Sasa. Whatever he's doing in defense there is something else altogether. This is Minyilu and Dimu. Has gone past his marker. He's looking for a 45 cross. It's a long one. But that's the best he could have done under the circumstances. He couldn't have carved a very short one, because otherwise it wouldn't get to him. It would have had to go up and take a little bit of leverage from the air. So under the circumstances, the best that has been done. Here is a shot coming from Yared Baye, looking for a single touch to get it back into the net. There's a penalty that has been given by the referee here. Yared Baye has claimed there was a handball there, and a red card has been given for that infringement. So it's given out a penalty, and the man who probably is going to be guilty of this is a man in jersey 20, because he was there before. He had a yellow card as well. We'll confirm it in just one moment. The assistant has already moved to the position for a penalty, and it happened very quickly from the shot by Yared Baye. Bahirdar managing to force them into an error. And Berket Walde gets a red card. First of all, for handling the ball deliberately in the box would have been a red card anyway. But he already had a yellow. Here it is again. It comes from the right side. Pushed in, and Yared Baye in a perfect position. The goalkeeper handles this. Oh, he trips, actually. The man who was in a position to go for a goal. Alemu is being held back, being pulled back. And then look at the right foot as well. Look at Walde's right foot. It actually clips Fitsuma Lemu's right boot, rendering him unable to move forward. Berket Walde could have taken one for the team. Alemu is already celebrating, but the penalty has not yet been taken. Wolayita Dicha are playing one man less, but it will be just for a few minutes. So, they're going to give it then to Yared Baye, Andy, to take it as a penalty.
Persistency has paid off for Fitsuma Lemu. Persistency has paid off, because
let's look at it the other way around. The persistence in wrongdoing for Berket Walde has cost the team. That's the only way to look at it.
They were tied to umbilical cord.
No, they weren't. No. Here is the penalty now. It's going to be Big Degefu versus Yared Baye in what might just change the fortunes for Bahirdar. in the Ethiopian Premier League. Steps up by, and it's been saved by Mekbib Degefu. And that's why you'd never celebrate it before, because it's a penalty. Anything happens there, it's just a chance. Here comes the Wolayita Dicha side, running out. So Gilbert, the patience has not paid yet. It didn't pay.
Well, they
just
must
give
thank
them the penalty, but
they
that's all.
must thank Mekbib Degefu going
Here
on the
it is
right
again,
side.
the pulling and then being clipped on the right boot. That's what gave the penalty at that moment, because Fitsum Alemu could have gotten to that ball and could have tapped it into the net. It turned him, changed direction. Then the red card was given to Walde. I don't know what Walde was pointing to, but Yared Bayer doesn't do the best. It's a very feeble penalty, and he shows the direction he's going to take it to. That's easily dealt with by the very tall and very, very athletic Mekbib Degefu. Scoreline still 0-0. Just a couple of seconds remaining. We are playing the 93rd minute, so we've got only playing the 94th now. Is anyone going to get the 3 points here? This is going to be a foul, and Alemu will get himself yellow carded. Went in a little bit too difficult, too hard. Fitsum has overworked himself. It's the second yellow card he's getting in the 93rd minute of the game. The referee explains to him that he's committed an offense and he needs to be punished.
It's frustration.
Gilbert, we don't have much time remaining. What's your summation of this game?
I think it has been a 50-50 game. It has really been a 50-50 game, and the chances have been very, very scarce.
They've been few, very few, and not even far in between. They've just been few. Fitsum Alemu, out of frustration, commits a foul, gets himself a yellow card. It's the second yellow card he has gotten in the 12 matches that he has played so far, because the Bahirdar side is playing their 12th match, the Wolayita Dicha side their 11th. But any moment now, this game will come to an end, and Bahirdar will blame themselves for not taking the chance that they got. Binyam Fikri tries to curve it back into a 45. He has reason to feel frustrated and reason to feel he didn't get the right chances. That's the final whistle. Well refed by referee Lemini Gusie. And Wolayita Dicha happy that they survived the penalty. Mekbib Degefu becomes the superstar in the Wolayita Dicha side for now, as they go into their 5th draw in the entire season. Bahirdar, 4th consecutive draw. Fourth consecutive draw in this season as well. Leaves them not in a very good position in this 11th, and we'll see whether the second match this afternoon will change the positioning of any of the two teams on the log. But at the moment, scoreline from the Bahirdar International Stadium is 0-0. This could have changed it, but Fitsum Alemu is being pulled back by Baraket Walde, who already has a yellow card. But you need to look at the right foot. That's even more telling. He cuts into the rails of Fitsum Alemu and trips him on his right foot. Alemu celebrated this too early, by cuts back that celebration as Mekbib Degefu then stops the celebration altogether. He steps off the line, yes, but that's very quick to be seen. Yeah, he gets off the line to go and take that ball.